All right, Haley, thank you for meeting with me
Of course.
today. I absolutely loved coming to see you in class again.
It was so good.
I always enjoy our observations together. So first I want to hear a little bit about how you felt that it went, since we just kind of watched our recap video here.
Of course. I will say one of the things that stuck out to me was the engagement of the kids, and I felt like them being active participants made me as a teacher actively participate a little bit more. So I felt like I was able to reach all of those students throughout that entire circle.
I love that you said that. And one of the things that you do really well, and I know this was your focus standard, right? You were focusing on engaging, supporting all students in learning, and you do such a nice job connecting those home experiences with our younger learners and bringing in their interest level. And we know that's the only way we honestly can engage them, right? They need to have a prior experience and they need to be interested in it, because if it's not relevant to them.
Yeah, and I think one of the biggest things to focus on too is in such a broad classroom, there are so many differences, so you kind of have to hit to every single kid, and that's challenging. But I felt like I did good. I felt like rewatching that video, it helped me see that I was able to do that.
Perfect. And then, so how did you decide to change your greeting song? Because I know that you guys switched it up recently.
Yes, so I was realizing that we do have some ELL students in our classroom, and they were actively participating, but they weren't actually understanding what they were participating in. So one day I decided I did find a Spanish version, and so I threw it in there just to kind of throw them off, and they loved it. And so instead of throwing them off and just adding in something new, we changed our schedule and adapted to fit all of our English language learners, because we felt that they should be active participants as well. They're a student in our classroom, so we wanted to engage them.
I absolutely love that. And that right there just highlights how you are doing it so well, connecting with their prior knowledge, and you are respecting their cultural background, and you're giving the other students exposure to it as well. And they absolutely love that. They were so engaged and motivated and just actively participating.
Watching the video shows how many kids know Spanish.
They do.
Because
They're
I'm
doing
sitting
such a
there
good
like,
job.
they don't actually know it, but they do.
No, but they do. And that's one of the best things. I wish we could do it more often, just seeing how we actually are teaching from kind of a, removing yourself out of it, because it's hard to see everything when you're in there in that moment. So let's see, when we look at the work sample, so you were doing circle time, and then you did your dialogic reading for the book, and then you moved forward and went into the kind of large yet small groups, because everybody's at the different tables. What do you feel worked really kind of well with that?
I think what well was the factor that I had a sample and I was able to show them the end result, and this is what you want it to look like. Another thing was everybody was engaged. They had fun putting on, their car parts. I did hear some use of the vocabulary that was shared in the book, so that was also nice. That.
Have you thought of maybe, you had the visual of the completed project, have you thought of maybe breaking down that visual yet a little bit more for some of the kiddos that need just one more layer of support?
I have, and I do feel that it is important in watching the video back. I do see myself reminding them of the steps, but mine is already completed, and so for a visual learner, they're going to look at the completed step and kind of have troubles completing there. So I would say that that would be an added step that I would like to add in the future, of just like, step by step, this is how you get there.
I agree. I think it just might be another way to reinforce some of our learners. We know you have a blended classroom, and so some of those kiddos on IEPs really could just use that additional bonus. But that would be a perfect way to easily incorporate it in. And quite honestly, some of our adults can use those visuals too. So that could be helpful with that.
And then I feel like that will create less prompting in the classroom, because they'll have a visual model where they can just refer to it rather than adult having to step in and prompt.
Yeah, and your instructional strategies are really right on target. You do, throughout circle time, use different means to engage them. Even when you're singing, you have the visual going on the smartboard, but you're also incorporating those hand motions, so you're able to address different modalities of learning, which is fantastic. I think that really helps with your engagement in there too. And then maybe just carrying over some of those additional visuals would be a nice added plus for
Yeah,
them.
totally.
Perfect.